Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the panel tonight is a legend Bridgeman and young GB. How we doing, boys?
Good evening, Ox. Good evening, Bridgeman.
Well, can I say a huge good evening to you guys in the panel here? Massive good evening to the boys in the lobby, to all the Rangers fans that are listening and all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are you, GB? How's things?
Very well, mate. Santa's nearly here, so I'm getting quite excited.
Yeah. Well, aye.
Mind I'm still that young.
I know, mate. I know. Remember your carrot.
Oh, don't you start. We've got bad enough on that ox chair.
I heard that a couple of times last night.
The truth hurts. Some people, the truth hurts. Well, I've obviously not spoke to you for a while, mate. Give your thoughts on what's happened at the weekend there.
A brilliant performance. That's what I'll put that down to. Just it might have looked no good in the eye, but I tell you, how are you meant to do better against a team that's blocking that deep? Don't get me wrong, the goal that we let in was a bit sloppy, but I was just so glad that we got the win. It was looking also a wee bit dodgy, but hat after them. I mean, everybody was saying the bottle was going to go, but that just shows you there was no bottle going that day. The boys played right to the end, and two great goals. Two good goals with Roof and a great header with Eaton. I'm really proud of him. Brilliant.
Mm-hmm. And it did show. I think the word that we come up with last night, Bridgeman, was patience, wasn't it?
Yes, we did. We mentioned that, how we took it. We didn't no panic in the ranks at all, and patience and belief within the team. And as the second half progressed, you could see us, excuse the language, excuse the pun, getting progressively more in the game, more accurate with our passes, holding the ball better, players up for it, and more players in the box and better passes into the box. And that made the big difference. And we got 3 absolutely excellent goals from my standing. Absolutely excellent.
Aye, any goal's a good goal, isn't it?
Ox, you know something? I was really pleased with our game management near the end. See that down that corner where we were? The wee passing and playing it against Motherwell and stuff like that. It actually ended up draining them a bit, and that gave us the opportunity to get that third goal.
They go where they deserve, GB. They go exactly where they deserve.
100%. I mean, see the boys playing for Motherwell, and that's what they're getting told today. That must absolutely dishearten them, because I know that they might be turning up for a draw or whatever, but I tell you something, see if you're wanting to progress your career and then there's any scouts looking at you and that's what they're coming up to watch, how are you meant to progress your career? The only way you've got to progress is actually taking on the challenge. And I mean, it's like anything you do. If you're playing against the best, then you're going to improve, you mean, your skills and stuff like that. And I just don't understand that tactic. If they're going to lose the game, why not go out trying? You know what I mean? I would rather go out fighting rather than just sitting back waiting for it to happen, kind of thing.
Aye, I get your comment from me. I couldn't understand it. I've seen teams play defensive. We agreed on that as well last night, Bridgeman. But what I've never seen is with 20 minutes gone in a game of football, a midfield player just toe-ending it up the park and giving the other team the ball back like a training session. Bridge, I've never seen it. Never. There's usually one forward who's got the lone task of chasing after the ball, isn't it?
Oh, you're absolutely right. That's for sure. There was some terrible passing for them. It just looked like they were just wanting to pump it anywhere out of the way, at times. Look, when they did get possession, there was just nobody up. The only way they could get possession in anywhere near our box is getting the ball up there and we make a mistake or they manage to get a good pass in or something like that. They get a corner or a throw in or a free kick. Other than that, no, they were getting nothing out of the game at all. And I think that was, and from the bottom of my heart, I think it was a ridiculous plan that they had. And if they ever wanted to get a good name in football at all, they've wasted it. They've just wasted it. I believe that Tam Cowan, who is a big Motherwell fan, was giving them a roasting on the radio the other day. I heard so. Giving them a roasting.
Well, that was on the BBC. You were listening to that,
I wasn't listening to it. No, somebody said it. Somebody said it in the
PLZ.
It was Call of All. Actually, said the boys were saying they listened to it for a short spell.
What was he saying? It's not a way to play football, was he?
Exactly. He was saying what Motherwell fans don't deserve that. That is just utter mince. Utter mince.
The Bridge and Andox, the thing I couldn't understand is, see a team like that going 1-0 up at Ibrox so early on, like, surely the manager should be saying to them, right, keep it steady and try and get the second goal. Because see if a team like that got a second goal against a team like Rangers, it's a total uphill struggle for them. Then they could probably sit in and do what they've done. But for them not to try and push on and just sit back after 20 minutes, it was absolutely crazy. Because, I mean, the amount of energy that you need to hold on for that length of time is crazy. It's just a bad way to play football. I just don't get it.
Yeah, and by the way, we went one down in a game, and if they put one up front, we've got to keep two back. So that's obviously going to benefit them because we're one down in the game. That's what I don't understand. So, but I don't get it. Anyway, let's not look back. Let's look forward. GB, what do you think?
Oh, definitely. Big game tomorrow.
Yep.
And a dangerous team. I mean, I was having a wee look back at their kind of form and their results the past few months, and I tell you, they've had some good scalps in amongst there. They've beat Kelly, they've drew with Hibs, they've beat Motherwell, they drew with Celtic, and there just last week they had a 3-2 defeat with St Mirren, but still, I mean, high scoring games and stuff like that.
With the second half with 10 men, mate.
Aye, that's it. I read cared as well. So they're a hard working team, and again, that Stevie May as well. He seems to always be a guy that turns up in these big games. So he's again another player worth watching. But again, I would take a Bridgeman. I would take a 1-0. I mean, it's just one of the games. It's a smash and grab.
I get it. I think the support would take 1-0 just to tick it off. GB in a row day. Be behind the sofa watching it right enough, but we would take it.
Aye, don't get me wrong. If it's anything like the weekend, then I suppose our team can take courage for it, knowing that they can break these teams down eventually. Roof, I think, is starting to get into not so much the form of his life, but into top form at the most important time of the season for us, I think. And if thinking back to where we were at the start of the season, Roof didn't really feature, and now if we're getting to see the best of Roof coming into a few important games, I think he can do some damage for us. So, and I heard you last night saying that the forwards, they need to step up, and we're going to need them. We're definitely going to need them over the next 3 to 4 games anyway.
Here, mate. Here. It was good for the forwards to get the goals for a lot of reasons. Question for two of you, both of you, Bridgeman and yourself, GB, just before we hear our assistant manager. I've got a question, just one simple question. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Will Morelos start tomorrow night? Yes or no?
Yes for me.
Bridge?
Yes.
Okay. Right, if you don't mind getting yourself on mute, we're going to hear from your manager, Gary McAllister. I think he's an MB as well.
Hi Gary, do you think the significant difference in the title race this time around is you're not reliant on one player as you seemingly were last season at this time?
Yeah, that might have been labelled against us that we did rely on one player, but I didn't quite see that. But what I would say is now there has been a nice spread of goals throughout the team, and that's a good thing. Competition for places is fierce, especially in the front areas of the pitch. But it is pleasing that the goals they're being spread right through the team. When we look dangerous going into the final third in many different ways, rather than maybe just being one-dimensional.
Hi Gary, just speaking to Vaughan, talking about the mentality. He sees a mentality change within the squad from the previous sort of festive periods. How much do you think that will bode well? And have you seen the same change in the players' mentality?
Yeah, I would, if we just go back to the weekend against Motherwell, going a goal behind, and then obviously being asked the question to break down 2 lines of 5. I thought there was good maturity. I thought there was variation in our play, but I just thought the accumulation of pressure put on Motherwell and just that continually prompting and probing and being patient, I thought we got our just rewards at the end of the game, and we were worthy winners, I felt.
David Tanner, please.
Gary, how important a 10-14 day period is this day for this period for Rangers now? Would you say this period will define the season now in the title race?
David, over my experience of playing football over this period is my memories of it is it's always key. Christmas and New Year is always key in any league you play in, because especially here in the UK where there's loads of games and the scheduling is really tough. And if you can come through it, it goes a long way to where you're going to finish at the end of the season. So it is, I totally agree, it's a massive week, 10 days of high intensity games, tough games, and then just the fact that they keep coming every 2-3 days makes it even more difficult. But it's going to be key. If we come through here nice and clean, we'll be happy.
Andrew McLean, go ahead, please.
Hi Gary, just before I get to my question, am I able to get an update on team news? Is there anyone out for this one? Anyone back?
Well, the pleasing thing is Ryan Jacks had a couple of good days on the grass. He's back, and we're pretty hopeful that he could be in and around the squad for Boxing Day and Hibs. So that's a big boost going into this busy schedule. Obviously, Alfredo comes back in; he's available and comes back into the squad. And apart from that, everybody else we're good. We're picking from a full squad nearly.
And just finally for me, Stephen had talked about not being happy with the VAR, that goals have been conceded in the last couple of games. How important is it to get back to that defensive stability that you've had for so much of the season? Yeah,
at times it is a wee bit sort of strange to be hypercritical of a backline and goalkeeper and a sort of a team that's kept so many clean sheets and defended its goal really well, but it's these little lapses that could cause danger. So knowing the backline boys and the goalkeepers here, that they want to get back to clean sheets, and it is very key. If we can keep clean sheets and go up the other side of the park and be as inventive as we have been and been free scoring, so that bodes well. But as a team, everybody, I don't just look at the back five, I look at the whole team. As a team, the boys want to get back to trying to keep clean sheets.
Hello, Gary.
How did?
The good play, obviously, the start of the season has built up this sizable lead that you have, albeit the rivals have got some games in hand. Is there a different psychology attached to being pace setters as opposed to having to chase, which you've had to do the last couple of years?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, but the feeling now at the moment is, with this big schedule, we're really taking games, and the cliches do start to appear. We are looking at each game individually. We can't look too far ahead. Maybe as a staff we do, but is what we are trying to impress into the squad of players is just keep looking to the next game. Deal with that game, what's in front of you, and then we can go and immediately turn our attentions to the next one. So basically, after the Motherwell result, which was really positive, we're delighted with that result. We turned our attentions to the game tomorrow against St Johnstone, and we don't look too far ahead.
David Edgar, please.
One of the impressive things at the weekend was the tactical flexibility you were able to display going through the second half, trying to, obviously find a way to get ahead, and then even to be able to put on Bongani Zungu at 2-1 and change the game again. Is the depth of the squad useful to you as a management team in terms of being able to for different phases of matches to alter it?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I think as you've pointed out there, the changes are nice and subtle. I wouldn't underestimate what the guys in the first half did, and Glenn Kamara's unfortunate to come off the pitch, but the work and the pressure that the guys in the first half had put upon Motherwell's back lines was very impressive. But it does take time, and I think by the end of the game, it was just that accumulation of pressure, and then the addition of people who are a little bit finer, maybe in the final third, maybe just unlock a defence, and that's what made the difference. And then when we did get our noses in front, the ability to bring Zungu on, who's very disciplined in his approach to the game and sitting just right in front of the two central defenders, just gives you a nice insurance policy, so to speak. So yeah, the changes worked. There were subtle changes, but again, it's that accumulation of the whole team effort.
Thank you.
And finally, Andy Newport, please.
Morning, Gary.
Morning.
We've seen over the last few days the emergence of this new coronavirus, and obviously it seems to be sweeping the country. Is there any concern from your point of view, the club's point of view, that if this situation again gets out of hand, that you might have a scenario where the league season can't be completed? Obviously, we've not got any protocols in place from the SPFL in terms of how they're going to, if there's a finish point where the league season could be called or anything like that. Is there any concerns just now?
No, there's no concerns. We, as we don't make the decisions, as you rightly said there, and we've just got to be as disciplined and the fact is we've worked really hard to keep everybody away from this problem, and we've just got to keep as diligent as we possibly can, and just keep trying to focus on playing football.
Perfect. Thank you very much, guys.
Gary, David, can I ask a quick question before we go? Gary, is it are you in the wrong job to have a birthday on Christmas Day?
Do you know what? That's the thing is, when you obviously I signed with Motherwell when I was 16, and I've been involved in football ever since. And it's very rare that I do celebrate a birthday on Christmas Day, because there's always a game in Boxing Day. It's not a good birthday, is it? To be perfectly honest, let's be truthful. I should change it. I should stick it in June or July. It's not a good birthday. And I've decided I'm staying at 50 as well. By the way, that's my thinking.
Maybe go for the 12th of July, Gary.
Aye, go for that. We're a wee skip in amongst it and all.
Right, a very, very honest assessment of the game. Some mixed messages about the team. Obviously, Ryan Jack's not going to be quite ready, GB, but hopefully we'll be involved for the next 3 games coming up, yeah? Yeah,
and I think if we had to pick, we'd much rather them ready for the next 3 games rather than this game, the Mora. I feel we have missed them. There's been times I've been kind of questioning Jack's place in the team, but I think in certain games it would just be good for him to be in the team to shore us up at the back. He always does cover Tav. I think some of the goals that we've been letting in recently, a player like Jack would have probably tidied some of that up for us, I think.
Well, that's a good point you make, GB. Mm-hmm. There's a stat kicking around that we've not lost a league goal when Ryan Jack's been playing.
Well, there you go. I didn't even know that.
I've not checked it, but somebody said me. I've not checked it out, but there you go.
I could believe it. What it says, it's just he always seems to slip in for Tav and stuff like that, or he's always a kind of clean-up man. So I think in a way it'll be great that he's fit and ready for Hibs, and then obviously marching on to the Old Firm, because it's great to have a proper blue nose and amongst that midfield on an Old Firm game.
All right, Bridgeman, if people want to join us, what's the number, mate?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. You've got on the call with Fox and Old School Blue. If you phone in, hang up, we will phone you back then. Just wait and we'll bring you into the conversation. Very positive press conference, Bridge.
I'm delighted with it. I think the man talks a lot of sense. I've got no problems with Gary McAllister, a really good assistant. Man, you know yourself, he's one of the best numbers of internationalists. Great player.
Anyway, we've been joined by a caller. Evening, caller.
Evening.
What's your name, mate?
My name is Duncan.
Hi, Duncan. First time on, mate?
Yeah, very first time, lads. I've listened to you for the past year. What a show. Every night, I listen to my bed. I phone to my ear. Usually I don't start before the end because I work early in the morning, but
that's when Bridgeman speaking, mate.
Really enjoying the show. Different class.
Thanks very much, mate. What's on your mind, mate?
Listen, to be honest, I'm a Rangers fan through and through. I've been born and raised a Rangers fan my whole life. And listen, my point tonight was I've been on the Super Scoreboard talking and that nobody understands what I'm coming from. I just think the big, massive debate that we always have between Rangers fans, Celtic fans, is that there's no conspiracy, no this, no that. Listen, here's an example for you. Last season, COVID, something that nobody expected. It comes into place, league cancelled, 13 points in front, Rangers cut a game in hand, doesn't matter what anybody says, it's done, dusted, Celtic league champions, there you go, quadruple treble, whatever you want to call it. And then this season, it's getting worse, COVID's getting worse. And there'll not be any cancellation this season because Rangers are top with 16 points. The Celtic manager was asked today, what do you think, was the league championship over? Definitely not over. By far it's not over. It's still there to play for. How can you contradict yourself with that? How can you do that? You get away with it.
But I don't think if anything was going to happen with the football and the sports, I don't think the sports authorities would have any say in it, mate. If things are going to get worse, and let's hope they don't, let's hope they improve.
The safety first and foremost.
Aye. The first and foremost is the safety of all our friends and families and my loved ones. And we've got to look after some. Not everybody's as young as me and GB. We've got to look after the mature guys like Bridgeman.
What a shocker you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just listen, I don't want to sound listen, I've got a lot of good pals that are Celtic fans. But listen, it just annoys me that if you think something and see it, fair play.
If you don't think there's a conspiracy, mate, or you don't think there's bias, mate, have a real study of the league fixtures played between December and January. That they're random.
The league's one lost from my point, yeah. You're right, 100%. And my big point is, how can Neil Lennon be asked a few months ago when they were 13 points in front, Rangers had 2 games in hand? And by the way, it's quite funny and quite strange how things have actually happened. The same scenario is the exact same just now. All the Rangers have got another 3 points on top, and they have 1 more game in hand. So here's my point. A few months ago, he was asked a question. Is the league? I think we're going to go on and get even a bigger gap. You can't say that, but so quite happy to take the league title. Now this season, is the vice versa, the total opposite. Andy says it's not over till it's over. Come on.
It's called, I think you think the word GB is hypocrisy.
It is a bit, aye. I think the only thing is that the difference last season was that we'd played more than half the season. So I think if we get to that point, the same as last season, and we're sitting where we are that far in front, and things are going to get called, then by all means, I think we deserve to be the champions. But calling it the new, I don't think it would happen. I think because we've still got so many games left, I think they would always bring it back and finish the season at another point. Just my opinion.
Hopefully, Duncan, it doesn't come to that, mate. Obviously, after tomorrow night, we're halfway through the stage, and it is a big game for us tomorrow night. How do you see it going, mate?
Oh, man. Listen, to be honest with you, I've been totally flabbergasted this season because I've seen big improvements in Rangers, and I always loved Gerrard as a player, and like anybody in the right mind that likes football would like Gerrard as a player, but as a man, as a human being, he was never on the front page. He was always the back pages, and even that England team had some world-class stars like Beckham, but they made the front pages sometimes. Giggs, no, obviously Giggs is Welsh, but that era, there was John Terry, Gerrard. I think Dave King's done a massive thing here and hand-picking this guy, because he just oozes class, in my opinion. Some people might think different, but I think the guy oozes. Name one press conference, guy, right? Name me one press conference he's let Rangers fans down. He's never let us down once, ever. Even in defeat, and you think against the Hearts, we could beat against Hearts last season, we're thinking, where do we go from here? He's totally turned it into his heat. He's totally, and see it in Europe. I've watched Rangers in Europe when I was a wee boy. I remember I went to Germany, Bayern Munich. They beat us 3-1 at Ibrox. Augenthaler scored a world day, make it 3-1. I walked to Germany with my dad and my uncles, and Bassunas was the manager, and there was nothing each. We were all there for nothing each. And I remember watching Walter Smith in Europe, even that run, the team wanted to score against Lisbon. Fantastic times, getting to Manchester. My heart was always in my mouth watching Rangers in Europe, always. And see now, I'm sitting going, I don't matter who we get, we'll give him a game. I don't know if you feel the same, but this Gerrard turned us in about. He's been his contenders to against any team, but they don't fear anybody. That's what I think anyway.
Well said. Yes, he's definitely changed this for the better. I just hope that what I say is that I think the team now does deserve some silverware, and that's all we're crying out for now.
So people
Gary, can I come in on that a minute?
Just before we come in, Bridge.
Oh, sorry.
Bridges, not Bridge, come right back. Bridges' first trip to Germany only got as far as Arnhem.
Somebody threw me at the plane. Can I just say that, that saying that they're using, you deserve, sometimes you deserve what you get. Well, I'm wanting to hold off before anything happens with the Rangers other than we win. That's all I'm interested in, Rangers winning. And then if we tick the boxes off and we keep marching on, just like the Gary McAllister said there, that's, to me, in my mind and in my heart, that's what I want. I want us tick the boxes off, win the games. Every single one we can. If we don't win a game, then we can start to see, I'm worried in case it's that we're building pressure up. And the only way to get over that is go there and win your game and tick the box. Mm-hmm. And the longer we go, the bigger the pressure. And we're just creating it in a certain way. We're creating our own pressure, but it's good pressure at that point. Keep winning.
We turn for home tomorrow night if we win. We'll be joined by Carl. Evening, Carl.
Oh, good evening.
How are we doing, mate?
Oh, I'm doing all right, but I've got a wee bit of problem with this. Trying to get the game tomorrow night on the Saints TV.
So Johnston TV, yeah.
I've got to go to the page up. I've tried logging in, to have it all ready to go. Nah, only take it.
All right, mate. I've not tried myself yet, mate. I've been far too busy. I'm sure there'll be a lot of bears trying to sort through it tomorrow, maybe.
I'm sure other people have got other ways of watching it, I'm not so lucky.
I don't know what you're talking about, Carl.
Nearly, actually. That's normal with me, though. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Just while we're here, Duncan, what about that? 1750, trying to bleed the blue pound, another team in Scotland. When are they going to learn? Duncan?
Hello?
Did you see that?
Hello?
Johnston wanted half the Rangers support to watch the game on the telly tomorrow night.
Oh, it's embarrassing, really, isn't it? You think about it. I mean, I remember going to games and it cost you like 12 quid, 13 quid to get in, but 1750 sit in your own house. I mean, come on. Who's going to pay that?
I know. Ridiculous, mate.
Will they do that tomorrow? Or some mum?
I doubt it, mate. I doubt it. It's just the blue pound, isn't it?
It's up to the powers that be. Say, listen, you can't treat people differently. So, if you go to that to one person, you do the next person. Treat people the exact same. And this is just because, listen, I'm a great believer. All these people want us away, gone, finished with. If it's up to me, I'm going to go in there, never again. morning.
Listen, mate, we're getting some interference through for you. I don't know where you are or it's your sound, but will you phone in again, mate? It was great to hear for you.
No, listen, guys, keep up the good work. I'm enjoying the show. I'll listen to you every night.
All right, mate, just listen, seriously, don't be a stranger. Phone in any time, mate.
No, I won't be. Have a good Christmas, boys, all right?
All the best to you, mate. Nice to speak to you, yeah?
Take care.
Cheers, donkey.
Bye-bye.
Can I ask a question, Oxia?
Yeah, don't make it too hard, but it's cheap.
No, don't think of it too daft. Obviously, everybody wants to even listen in and tell us what you think. Is it not possible that Rangers could buy shall we say a link in to that game for the 1750 and then rebroadcast that through Rangers TV and give it to us free? No. Why? Would that be illegal?
The home team, yes. The home teams own the matches, mate. That's
no, but we buy our bit. You know, we're not doing anything different for the BBC. Remember, BBC do that. They take in whatever broadcast there and then rebroadcast it.
I know that, but they'd want. I don't know, but they'd want $500,000.
Welcome to the O2 messaging service.
You're right, pal. You're right.
You know. We'll see what it takes us tomorrow night. Cal, hopefully you can get something sorted. Were you pleased when the goals went in on Saturday, mate?
I was a nervous wreck. I don't know about yous. I was saying, oh no, here we go again. No, this crap passing side to side. And then we had all the possession, but possession isn't always great, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't much. I still prefer if we start shooting from outside the box a lot more. We've got to try it. Or like Kent runs along the line, you know, the front, the last line of defence. He's got the skill. He can get by a man. Sometimes you've got to get hurt to get penalties. You know what I mean? And free kicks. I don't think he does that enough. You know, I don't think he gets by the last man enough. He's got the skill in the world, you know.
I'd like to see Kent up against the defence rather than getting the ball for deep. I know he wants to get the ball for deep, GB, so he can run it on, but I'd like to see him just a wee bit further forward.
I 100% agree with you. He's, like you say, the boy's got all the talent. I just think he needs that kind of mere killer instinct just to keep shooting. Obviously with quality, but you see all the time against these teams, they flap. As soon as there's shots going in the box, there might, like I says, it bounces all over the place. So that wee break of the ball, in fact, it proved that with Roof's goal, his second goal, the ball was in the box and it was here, there and everywhere, and the ball broke for him and he got his second goal. It's stuff like that we need to be doing more. Don't get me wrong, Kent for the first goal kept the ball alive.
He was lucky, wasn't he? He was lucky.
Aye, but that's what I'm saying. He's in amongst it, and we just need him doing that more, like you say, rather than bringing it for deep and then charging forward.
But we got 3 goals. If you had just bought the Sunday papers and hadn't watched the match, mate, you'd have been delighted when you seen the score, Cal.
Aye.
You know,
I say watching is very difficult at times.
It was tough. It wasn't a great watch. I think everybody would agree with that, but I don't think we can blame our side for that, mate. Yeah.
No, you can't blame us.
No.
That was him. God in heaven, I'd never seen anything like it. It was lining up soldiers, wasn't it? You know.
Soldiers.
That was, definitely. It was like that.
Oh dear. Well,
wouldn't it be too bad if we could play with a bowling ball, you know? Get the 10 pins out the road.
Let's get all them out of the way. Right, Bridgeman, if people want to join us, give their thoughts. That was a good call for Duncan, first time caller. What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. You brought in a phone, had a call by Old School Boy Fox. Phone in, hang up. We will phone you back. What else is on your mind? If one more sleep to, it's a big game tomorrow night, Duncan, Cal.
Oh, sleep, I'll not get any. I'll not get any sleep. I'm up at 3 in the morning.
Bridge will get a sleep and maybe 2 naps before the game tomorrow.
Lucky man.
You know, it's a big game. It's a halfway point tomorrow. You know,
That's what I was thinking. We need we just get a result. I don't even care. See if it's as bad as that and I can get to watch it, I'll be quite happy. As long as we get the goal that counts, that'll do me. You know?
There's a wise man came on here, GB Albert, and said, winning football, that's all he wants. And that's what it's all about now. It's about points.
Absolutely.
Points make prizes.
GB?
Well, you know, it's got to be done.
We've been joined by a caller. Evening, caller.
Good evening. How you doing, Ian? How are you talking?
How are we doing, Ian? Nice to meet you.
No bad. I'm just wondering, think Mungani Zunu could become the next Lucas Radebe Scottish football?
Oh. That's,
I mean, with his physicality and his passing range, I think he's great.
Well, I'll put it this way: I enjoyed these cameos, and I'll take this to Bridgeman after me. I enjoyed these cameos, and I thought he started the game reasonably well against St Mirren. But once that boy done him, and I thought it was a red card personally, I thought he fell out the game. But he's shown that there's a bit of quality there, and only time.
There's loads of quality there. I just thought he's got the same attributes as what Radebe had when he was playing for Leeds.
He was with Tino playing centre half.
Yeah, he was centre half. He's got the same quality. He can fit. Well, Zuma can fit in anywhere, can't he? Centre back to centre half, he can do what he wants.
Bridgeman, thoughts?
I mean,
I think
just my honest opinion.
Yeah.
That's all right, no problem, pal. No problem. That's all you ever get on here. It's honest opinion. I don't think Zungu, by the look of him and what we've seen up to now, he got stamped on against St Mirren, and he's recovered quite well. Came back on the next game, and he's done all right. But I don't know whether he's ready. It might be sort of well into the second half of the season that we see the best of Zungu.
Before he actually comes to the fore, I agree with that.
I'm saying that. I think he's there and people like him. And the Foxstairs sort of commented a couple of times and he looks good on the ball and things like that. And he does. There's no doubt about it. He's got to look at, when you're looking after yourself on the pitch, as you know, when you're playing, you're looking after yourself first and then you're looking after the rest of the team. And sometimes he forgets to look after himself. That's what I saw. And he gets he's bagged.
He's more for the team than himself at the moment, but I think that'll grow in time. The longer he spends there, the better he'll get.
Absolutely, he's got to do it, and he's got to make sure he's doing it and doing it right. And I think he's going to be a smashing player. And I think, like a lot of our players, it takes them the 6 months just to settle in and get to know guys. And then after Christmas, after the big game in Derby, now if he gets a game for Rangers against Celtic, he's going to be a massive introduction to the Old Firm game, and what an introduction
that takes a lot out of everybody, doesn't it? If you up to the Old Firm, but I think up to now he's physically stood up to the challenge, everything that's been put in front of him.
Well, can I ask you a question? Would you play Zungu tomorrow night?
I would.
Would you? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I would. Because I don't think we can have much of a challenge tomorrow night, to tell you the truth.
What would your midfield three be then tomorrow night?
I'd put Zungu going up the middle. I'd have Arfield playing off him and Kent on the other side.
Kent?
Right.
You don't think Kent would be one up, more forward? No,
I'd prefer to play him back because he's quick enough to get forward in time.
All right. And who would you play up front then? Remember, I'm not available.
Well, you always say, well, I'd have Morelos and Roof, and then I'd give you Barker a run. See what he can do with his pace.
Interesting. GB?
An interesting choice. I think Zungu is his last. Well, if he starts tomorrow, that'll be 3 games, and what an introduction to Scottish football, where he's had St Mirren, Motherwell, and then St Johnstone.
Especially coming for the climate that he's been in, but it will be.
It'll be some introduction for him, and like I says, he must, at that game at the weekend against Motherwell, he must have been shocked to see what kind of football he's got to be up against. But I think you're right. He will start tomorrow. But I would say
I think Gerrard's going to shake a wee bit about them on. And
I think here you go. I'll put it here. Here's my team tomorrow night. Yeah, my team will be McGregor in goals, Tavernier, Goldson, Hollander, Barisic, Stephen Davis, Scotty Arfield, Glenn Kamara, Roof, Morelos and Kent. They'll go back to near enough the same team it started this afternoon.
I'll be on.
I hope so, mate. I hope so.
It's just the way. I think we've got two good teams in three different formations we can play.
Yep, we sure have. We've got a lot of good players. Carl, what's your thinking for tomorrow night?
Oh, same as you. That's your team tomorrow night. Same as you. I don't know. Arfield would be my only change if I was changing.
Who would you have in?
What do you call them? The big... Haribo.
I get that.
I think Arfield might need a wee rest. You know?
It'd be interesting to see how it goes with the next
I think the last couple of games, Arfield's been a wee bit off the pace. Or the game's not suited him the way he was playing.
I think to agree with you with that. He has been a wee bit off the pace, but he gives his all. He gives everything, doesn't he?
He's not played particularly well the last two games, but you can't fault. I mean, there was no space for him to run into. In that game at Ibrox, they had to run into the stand to find some space.
Oh, we don't have the running track anymore.
They've changed it to the Copeland Road bus terminus.
Okay, listen.
All right, it was good talking to you, boys. Thanks very much for taking my call.
Speak to you. Yeah, speak to you again, and all the best for Christmas, mate.
Will do. You too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, bye.
Everybody sees the game slightly different, Bridgeman.
Yeah, they do. I actually think that team you read out would probably get as close as I could get to it as well, I must admit. I had no problem with that. That's probably one of the best teams we could put out. But there's others that you could start with confidence. You could use Zungu if you wished, you know. But I wouldn't necessarily go down that line. Look, I'm under no illusions. I have to say this once again. This tomorrow night is the biggest game of your season. No, I don't care what anyone says. This is massive. Biggest game of our season. And if nothing happens for us, wow. Leave it at that.
Yeah, we can get the points, mate. Doesn't matter what happens. When the whistle finishes, we're 13 points clear.
100%.
Sorry, 16 points clear. 16 points clear. I'm right. 16 points clear. You know, if we win the game, doesn't matter what helps. Anyway, what happens elsewhere, GB, yeah?
No, like I say, we just need to go out and I would take a smash and grab, to be honest. I think we'll be up against what we've seen at the weekend, to be honest. I think they'll sit back and give us the ball and they'll try and hit us in the break because that's what they've done with Celtic. So I think we just need to be careful.
All right, well, Paul said we'd play Morelos. And the question I'm asking you is if you play Morelos, what's your team? Also, Ian's come in. First impressions of Zunga, obviously Ian likes him. If you were the manager now, would you make plans to sign Zunga, or is it too early for you? So people's thoughts, what's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or joins at Skype at RangersRadio.online. We brought in a call with Fox Old School Boy. Phone in, hang up, and we will phone you back. Then we'll bring you in the conversation. Carl dropped out there at the same time, I think. Would you sign Zunga in what you've seen so far, GB?
No, yet, Ox. I think he's had the introduction, and like I said earlier there, what an introduction he's had to Scottish football. There's still a lot of games to go yet. He still needs to show a wee bit more from me. I think the Simon game, like you're saying that, tackle on him, I would have liked him to get up and get back into the game and drive us forward a wee bit. He was a bit of a passenger, I felt. That's my only opinion, but they just seemed to float in the game. Whereas we kind of needed somebody in there to grab the ball and drive us forward to try and get back in the game, and it just didn't seem to come that night. Again, Motherwell, hard team to break down, but I think tomorrow, I think the way the manager's wanting these results now, I think he will play the strongest team he can put out there, and the team that you mentioned is probably the strongest team that he can put out.
I'm not saying that will be the team, but I can see it being a team. We've been joined by Big Al. Evening, Big Al.
Good evening, gentlemen. Zunga, for me, the jury's still out on the guy. I think we need to see him 6, 7, 8 games under his belt, consistent run. I think also maybe the midfield needs somebody that's more attacking, that likes to drive forward with the ball. I would look at that Kenny McLean if we were going to spend some money. I think he knows Scottish football. I think he's that type of player. He drives forward. He likes to be shot from outside the box. It just adds another string to our bow.
Big Blue Nose as well. Big Blue Nose.
Yeah. If that matters, I think he's a good player. Well, Blue Nose, that's an extra bonus. I've just got a few reservations about Aribo. I'm not 100% sure he's not 100% fit yet, but I think, same again, he needs 3 or 4, maybe even 5 games consistently to get up to speed.
But he started the season very well, big man, and he has looked rusty since he come back.
Yeah, he looks rusty.
A wee bit better than Saturday when he came on.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Like, so I'd probably keep him in the team. But if you keep him in the team, do you think he'd be up to speed for playing puddle drinkers? You know what I mean? So that's the kind of chance. I wouldn't want to change the team then again. So
I don't think we can start picking the team for that game this now, because...
No, I'm not picking the team. But what I'm trying to get is, if you give him the run of games, will he be up to speed? I'm only specifically speaking about him.
Match fitness.
His fitness side. Do you think he'd be... That would give him enough games? 4 games?
Aye, mate, I would like to think so, mate, because they come thick and fast.
They come thick and fast. Sorry. I was just going to hang up. It's just because I'm up on top of a water cooling tank. It's a wee bit windy, man. Getting a bit of sun about me. It's beautiful. The temperature now, it's about 23, 24 now. Beautiful. It's nice, man.
Enjoy it.
Look, you all have a great Christmas. Everybody on Rangers Radio, take care. Stay safe in the UK, guys.
Same yourself out. Same yourself.
Oh, I'll be fine as long as I get off this water tank. No, all the best, guys. Fox, Bridgeman, Oxford. You have done another year, another great show. Another great show. Well, I'm usually underground, but I'm up on top of the water tanks today, checking a few bits and bobs out.
What the tanks are not very safe.
No, they're safe. I put them in. They're brand new. Don't worry about that. But it's my last day at work. I'm off for a fortnight, so I'm looking forward to spending some quality time with my 4 kids and beautiful wife and Big Blue. So you two spend good quality time with your families. Look forward to the new year, gentlemen. As I said, Fox, Oxjay, Bridgeman, and all the guys behind the scene. Another great year of Rangers Radio. Onwards and upwards. You're getting stronger. Take care, gents.
Speak to you soon. All the best.
Right, no worries, guys. Bye. Bye.
Stay safe.
Makes a great point.
Yeah, on you go, mate. On you go.
Al made a great point there about Aribo. I would be really excited to see the form that we've seen at the start of the season. If he could bring that to the next, at least the Hibs game and the Old Firm game, and having a on-fire roof and amongst that, the 2 games as well. Don't get me wrong, Arfield has been great for us and all, but I feel that Aribo and about the box and stuff like that, sees quick feet. I think he can tear people apart when he's on fire.
I like Joe Aribo. I think he's got a bit of talent, but if I'm being honest, the last few games he hasn't set the world on fire. But I don't know. We don't know how bad his injury was, or it's affected a wee bit of confidence, Bridgeman.
I'd put a small wager on the fact that he's still carrying a wee knock here. There may be more than one knock, and that's what's causing these problems. And he maybe managed to run that off over the few short, sharp. Can't even get the words out. Short, sharp pieces of play in, because he wasn't playing well. He was unable to hold the ball properly, and a lot of folk were quite disappointed in him. You saw the difference the other night there, or the other day, Saturday. He's actually played very, very well. He's quick feet, using the ball well. Very, very rarely did he lose the ball. And I think Gary mentioned that. I'd said it the other night myself. There was a lovely number of passes, interplay between 2 or 3 Rangers players, and every one of them were brilliant, absolutely superb, and he was involved in all of it. So I'm delighted with the way he's playing. I'm not saying he's the best player in the whole world, but I think he's going to be great for us. I really do.
All right, we'll be joined by Bob J. Evening, Bob J.
How you getting on, folks? All right.
Hi, Bob.
All right. I missed the first sort of the best part of the show here. I take it you're talking about the team tomorrow night. Eh? I heard your team, Ox. I would agree with that 100%, mate. Yeah.
It's pretty much the same as Saturdays. I know that, and they never.
Aye. Yeah, I would agree with that. And I'm certainly hoping that we're going to be too strong for this lot tomorrow night. I'm still infuriated with our prices, by the way, but we'll go on about that another time. Eh? That was spoken about last night. Joe Rebo's a very, very talented boy. We should hold on to him. He can do a job for Rangers, all right. He's a very talented boy, very talented footballer. I hear the boy mentioning Kenny McLean there earlier on. I have to disagree there. I don't think Kenny McLean's any better than what we've already got. A few people might disagree with that, but I don't think so.
I've not seen enough of him to judge. I don't watch Norwich, mate, you know.
No, neither do I. Make me pukey.
I don't watch Norwich.
No.
No, but so I've not seen enough of Kenny McLean to judge him. But listen, if the manager and the recruitment team think he's going to improve their squad and he comes in, he'll get my backing. But
aye. If the boy comes, he'll get my backing as well. But I don't think he's any better than what we've got.
Potentially, no. I think Kenny's one of these players that plays all over the park, you know, left back, and then anyway across the middle, and he's men up front, well, on the sides for teams. But it'll be an interesting one. We'll see. Obviously, we're going to have to deal with January, GB. Yeah?
Aye, it'll be an interesting window. Like I don't know. Like I think in an interview, the manager was saying that if there's a player there that will enhance the team, they'll go for it. So that kind of tells me we are in the market in January. But I think he also said in that interview that he is looking to offload as well. So whether that means it's the fringe players and stuff like that, I don't know. But I think if we're left with the team that we've got, I think we're strong enough to continue on the season. I don't think if we didn't sign anybody in January, I wouldn't be disappointed because I think we've got enough there.
Let's keep more key players.
Aye. Yep.
Keep more key players. You know, that's the important thing for us. And obviously, you need a bit of luck this time of the season, Bridgeman, the injuries.
Oh, most assuredly. If you can get through this set of games up to Christmas and up to the New Year, you'll be doing very, very well if you don't have any major injuries. Because some of the teams we're playing, they're dreadful. The tacklers are shocking, and they don't care. They actually don't care. I watched the games over and over, and the game against St Mirren, they're right back, and I don't know what his name was now, Kieran or Dick, I don't know, some Irish name anyway, and that guy just ran at people. And he's the guy that barged 4 of the Rangers players. He actually just ran straight into them. No one to do anything else other than barge in. Even the goalkeeper, he barged the goalkeeper. So, and I noticed in Saturday, Motherwell's boy, that boy Robbie Crawford, he was the barger and he was in charge of the barging. He barged everybody. Everything he did was a barge. Anyway, remember that. I want to go for Oxford. I don't want to ruin it.
But what I'm saying is at this time of the season, it is a time that you can pick up injuries, Bob J, because the ground gets soft under feet, people slide, get muscle tears, etc. You know, it's always happened, isn't it?
Well, that's right. It's the parts are heavy at this time of year, and the weather's no good, and it's dark. It's had all these contributory factors to injuries. And as Bridgman says there, the challenge is flying in for some of these people is absolutely shocking. And I keep banging the drum about why is this attitude always directed at Rangers? And I'm not being paranoid. I'm stating I know everybody tackles each other, but to me, again, it's back down to the old figure I've been banging on about all week, 120, 130% of these folk. And he's absolutely right to highlight these clubs about the attitude they got towards us, about the tackles and barging and elbowing and what have you. I thought that was a shocker last week on Zungo. It was a total straight red. But nah, and it infuriated me that Alfie had got 2 games for a lot less. It's just a general attitude of them lads. But yeah, this time of year, you've got to watch because sticky, heavy parts, tackles flying in, injuries can happen. But I think we've got a big enough and a strong enough squad. And would they make a sign-in in January, no matter who it is, they can strengthen the squad for the league run, and hopefully that'll be 55. What do you think, guys?
I hope so, mate. I hope so. Aye. Listen, Bridgeman, we'll be going to a tune in a few minutes, but after the tune, if people want to join us, what's the number, Mucker?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. We brought in a call with Fox and Old School Blue. Phone in, hang up, and we will phone you back. And then once you come in, just wait, we'll bring you in a conversation. We'll get 3 questions at you, well, maybe 4. Your team for tomorrow night, which I'm going to get off. I think GB's going to give his. Would you sign Zunga going forward at the moment? Because we've not really seen that much of him. And obviously, when you give your team, will you start Morelos? Some big key questions: short term, long term. Short term being tomorrow night, GB.
Well, like Morelos is the big one. I think with him getting a rest, I think he will start, and he'll be a big asset for us again against a team that is kind of rough and ready, and we need that kind of feisty Morelos up there. I did feel sorry for him. The boy's done brilliant with his discipline this season. The elbow, he was jumping for the ball. I mean, if I was jumping, everything in slow motion looks worst. Can't defend it, but like it says, I think the boy has been targeted. So hopefully tomorrow he comes out hungry, angry and ready to go and out there and prove a point. Because I tell you something, see when that boy hits form, along with the rest of them.
Do you want Alfie angry? Do you want him?
No, really.
Not so much angry. I want him angry to prove a point to everybody out there, kind of thing. I want him out there to prove the press that he's not this villain that they kind of portray him as. I want him to go out there and do his talking in the park and win the game.
He could do with a goal, Bob Cherry.
Oh, he could be doing a goal, all right. Sometimes I think Alfie gets annoyed with his sell-offs. Everybody thinks that when he gets substituted or he misses a chance, and you see the what's the word I'm looking for? You see the expression on his face, but sometimes I think Alfredo was frustrated with himself. It was all working out for him last season. This season, it's kind of no. He's playing well enough, but he's not hitting the back of the net regularly. I don't think he's happy in the role that Gerard's given him, actually. I don't know. What do you think of that, boys? Is that a possibility?
Well, when you see him when we score a goal, he's the first man there, usually self.
No, aye. I'm not saying he's not happy playing with Rangers, Rocks. I'm just saying I don't think he's not happy with himself, within himself. The ball's just no running for him.
He
said he made a statement in the paper. Sorry, he made a statement in the paper there. He says, "Don't worry." He says the storm will pass, and when it passes, along will come another storm. So, yeah, good on Alfie. I'm like the boy there. I hope he's on there tomorrow night, hungry and eager and keen and ready to go for it, and I think he will be.
I want him to keep his temper, but I want him to keep his temper because every referee's just looking for him. He's easy. They only need to make one decision when it comes to red cards. Tomorrow night, look for Alfredo Morelos, give him a red card, a yellow card, or whatever. And that's the papers all done. Nobody's going to criticise him. Nobody will say a word to a referee if he sends Alfredo Morelos off. Nobody.
No. Well, who were harmed at Dundee there the week past Sunday?
All right, gentlemen, get yourself in mute. We're going to have a tune.
Wonderful.
To Glasgow City they come, seeking fortune and a new way of life. How could they know ambitions would grow? Such a beautiful story, and here's how it goes. Four lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. So hoist up your Rangers flags, sing with your heart and voice, celebrate the greatest club in the world. Let our history show what we already know. We are the Rangers, the greatest of all. Four lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers are born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. For that's had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers are born. 54 titles, but still going strong. 54 titles, we're still going strong.
54 titles and still going strong. Turn yourself up, yeah.
Look at that duet now.
I wish they would release that on iTunes, by the way.
You had the Everly brothers, they called it to the Bevy brothers. Right, by the way, we're going to have to rewrite all the tunes come May, I think. Bob, do you have a joke for you?
Sorry about what?
We're going to have to change all the lyrics of these songs.
Oh, aye. Well, I can do that easy. No bother. I only can 6 songs. I get bad for a lot of them. Guess what they're about.
I can guess. Come and join us in 01413561972 or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. You brought in the call by Old School Blue Fox. Phone and hang up. We will phone you back and then we'll bring you into the conversation. As I said, GB, big game tomorrow night. GB?
Aye, still here, aye.
Big game tomorrow night.
Aye, it's once again, it's another big test for the team, isn't it? It's these games that the points make prizes. The Hibs games and the Aberdeens and all that take care of themselves, but these kind of so-called weird teams are the ones that can trip you up, and it's total full focus tomorrow night. And I think I heard you saying last night that you need the 2 wing backs to start positive. Need them to be up for the get-go against a team like this tomorrow, just to put the pressure on early doors, because we seem to do well if we get the early goal against these teams, because it means that it draws them out for us. and it kind of allows us to obviously push on and get the second goal.
I'm expecting. I don't think it'll be quite as negative a performance, Bob Jer, as what Murrow.
Well, this guy, what's his name, the manager of there, was Callum Davison.
Yeah.
He's done all right with him, the boy. And done okay with him, aye. And he'll set them up to defend. There are no two ways about that. But, they can't be as negative as Motherwell, surely. But what gets me in the press and all, and the media in general, again, is they'll build these teams up to be some sort of a super team before they play the Rangers. You've noticed that, eh? Everybody that plays the Rangers a couple of days before the press, they're well drilled, they're excellent, they're good at this, they've got a Scottish international player. Well, we all came up the opinion is against us, so the agenda is against us. So the Moronites, yet another example. Out here going with, we're better than them, and we should be able to take care of this. We thought that last Wednesday, but I don't think this will happen. That lightning will strike twice in the same place. I think the Gers will get a win tomorrow night, yeah.
Bridge, and you come, Bridge?
I feel that, once again, I don't want to be putting a damper on it, but seriously, I think our performances against St Johnstone, a lot of them have ended up winning, and winning well, some of them, but sometimes they've turned around and said a bit as in the arse, if you follow what I mean.
No, won't you?
No, well, you know what I mean. I don't mean that in a nasty way. I didn't mean a sweary word way. But you know what I mean. So we need to watch what we're doing. Be very careful. And much like Gary said there a couple of minutes ago, we need to come out, get on the front foot, and do our business. And never mind about St Johnstone. Just do our business, because it's what that matter. This is the most important game of our season. If we don't win this tomorrow night, God knows what's going to happen. God knows.
Well said.
Aye, well, it's a big game. It's a big game. It'll be real interesting to get some people's thoughts. Bob, you said, Bridgman, how are you lining the team up tomorrow then?
I would play the same team that you played, that you selected. I think that was a very popular selection. Do you want me to go through it again?
Aye, on you go, mate.
No, it's just the same team you called, wasn't it? McGregor, the back four. God Almighty, Tavernier, Goldson, Helander, and Barisic. And there was there was Stephen Davis. Can you tell me what was your
Stephen Davis, Arfield, and Kamara.
That's it.
Ruth and Kent up front.
Yes, that's them.
People have got different thoughts. Come and join us. Use our thoughts. I wonder if the wee rest might work for Morelos GB.
I think so. I think so, mate. Like I says, he'll not be. Any professional player doesn't want to be out of a team. They want to be playing football. That's all you hear for interviews with football players and that. They say they always want the next game of football and stuff like that. So he'll be no different. He'll be hungry for tomorrow. And like I says, I think the boy's got a point to prove. And by the way, one guy that is happy with him this season is the manager, because he said in his press conference, he says he may not be scoring goals, but we look at everything that the player contributes to the team, whether it's running, his stats and all that. And he says, looking at all that, he says the Morelos is contributing to the team. So he can't fault him this season. He might not be scoring, but
probably not scored quite enough goals, maybe an hard couple of goals. For his confidence, it's important for his confidence. Carl's back ways. Carl, all right, mate?
Yep, I got that. I got on to Johnson. Aye, I think it's going to be their biggest crowd of the season. You know that? I think it's going to be record-busting gate money for them tomorrow.
Aye.
Well, good on you, Carl. Good on you.
I just pressed the wrong button. It's in blue. You know, down the bottom, you've got to press to get on it as a away fan. But you can hardly see it. Well, I can't. Yeah. But it was in blue anyway, you know, so I got it. Hey, other thing I was going to say, you know how we seem to get awfully worried if we're going to drop points, but other teams are going to drop points as well. I don't think it'd be the end of the world if we drew. to tell you the truth. I don't think it would be the end of the world. It would maybe be a bigger G up, but I wouldn't want to drop a point against anybody. But it's going to happen sometime. You know, you don't want it close, so you know what I mean? You don't want to lose a game and then win a game and then start on that sort of pattern. But we're going to lose another game sometime.
We're going for our 11th win in a row in the league tomorrow. 11th win in a row.
I know that's magic. That's what I want it, but you know, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. I think it's just Rangers fans. They're ready to go in the back as soon as it goes a bit negative at times, you know. We're highly critical of our own team.
We're a tough crowd, Cal. We're a tough crowd.
Well, we're a tough crowd to please. I mean, we can't please any other team we play against. I hope we make them really sick.
Even Yeovil Town fans.
Oh God, I love them. I'm an idiot at that. I really am. I just haven't calmed down for my youth.
Love that story.
Wait till you turn 30, mate. You'll be fine.
Oh, you sure? Have you got there yourself yet?
Oh, haven't I, mate? I'm Bridgeman.
Oh, that's all right then. If I'll never blow out the connels with my asthma and that, you know.
Carl, don't you listen to him, Carl. Don't you listen to him, pal.
I know he's only 27. I know he's 3 years to go now.
Aye, right. His boy's 27.
Oh, God, my daughters. I think one of my daughters is nearly, I can't remember. I have to work out, 45.
Can I ask a question to you? So, do you think the manager will still use it in as a kind of impact player off the bench, or do you think he's starting to grow in confidence for him that he wants him more as a kind of starter in the team? His interviews at the weekend about it was very complimentary. I mean,
he must show a right good attitude, you know, and obviously come on, go to goal, worked hard. But then, if you'd rewind the tape to Thursday, Friday's show, it was they getting pass marks.
Mm-hmm.
You score goals, you always give managers decisions to make. Is he a first automatic starter? Not quite yet for me. Bob, yeah?
Well, football players are just everybody else. There's some of them think that the word prima donna comes to mind. Cedric Kittens know that, but I think he accepts that he's part of a squad and he's getting utilised as part of a squad. And I think he accepts the situation that he's not going to start every week. There's a possibility he might start tomorrow night. You don't know. He maybe will only start with LP. There's a possibility he could start with it. But that's a good shout. That he's a good pro, the boy, and he interviews well. And I'm glad to have him. And I think he'll do a continual job for us through the season, the laddie. Aye, definitely.
Bridgeman, you're enjoying him, aren't you? Rich? Carl, what's your thoughts on it?
I think Gittins very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's very good. He's going to take time to settle. The boy, as they were saying, he's sort of a wee bit homesick now, you know. But you expect that. You know, probably, I don't know, maybe a Toblerone and things like that.
It takes time, doesn't it? It takes time to settle. New surroundings, new teammate, maybe new tactics.
Accents. Languages.
Aye.
I mean, the amount of languages do you need to speak now to be a professional football player?
And the changing rooms must be. What's your own thoughts, GB?
I think I still like him as an impact sub, but the boy is starting to, I think, cause the manager a bit of headache. Listening back to his interviews, you can tell, like as he even said, he says that we broke Roof and that and in because we knew we needed these kind of guys to come into the team and score his goals. So I don't think he's just turning up just to be a bit part player. The boy's obviously wanting to be a first team player. And I think if he keeps up these performances, because the boy's got strength, I like him. I think I don't know how we fit him into the team perfectly yet, because he seems to be batting out the teams of maybe Walter Smith, who'd be an ideal striker would be that big guy up front with the striker athlete kind of thing. So I don't know if I think it was Bob J was saying earlier that we've got a team there that you could put a few tactics in where and stuff like that. I think it's just the boys got talent. I just think it's a bit early for them to be starting every game for us.
You with us, Bridge? You back with us? No, maybe not.
No.
I'm new, pal. Sorry about that.
You quite like Big Eaton, didn't you?
Well, I think Big Eaton's got a real good future with us, to be honest. He's a big, honest player, and I love it when he gets stuck in. He comes on. Sometimes he's played in a certain way, and it's like rather than sandpaper against a polished surface. It just doesn't work properly. You're not going to get enough of it. And really and truly, if we're going to play Eaton, we've got to get all the team ready to play with him, and we need to do that with Alfredo Morelos soon as well. We can't put him on the park and let him do everything he wants to do himself. Start playing towards him. Give him the ball as much as possible. Give him the ball in a position where he can have a dig, and you'll see a change. If he gets a couple of goals, you'll see a change. Same way, a couple of goals, he'll keep going.
Okay then. Aye. His goals per minute ratio is pretty good. He's got 4 goals for us. Obviously, he likes playing against Murrable. Bob Jerry's got 3 against him.
Absolutely. I mean, you're talking about the Moor night. I'll say he might play it in the Moor night, Hawks, because then you forget it was him and Roof that destroyed Motherwell on Saturday. So there's a possibility he could go with that again, just a continuation, yeah, and have Alfie on the bench and bring Alfie on. If we're winning with 2 or 3 goals in one of us, I sincerely hope we are, obviously, and he brings Alfie on to face them, then they'll all poo their pants at the one time. So let's hope that's the situation tomorrow night. But now, Big Eaton's doing all right. As I said, I think he's got a really good attitude, the boy. He knows exactly what his situation is. And really good. But I hope Ryan Kent starts to hit his game again. I want to see him going past people again and creating things. That's another. I'm not going to use a word like failing. He's anything but a failure, Ryan Kent. But I just hope he starts to peak again, like he was at the start, like Aribo in the Championship, because you can all tell how desperate we are for it, and we've got a really good chance at it. And let's go tomorrow night in here.
Can I ask Big Bob a question?
Yeah.
Bob, do you not think that Ryan Kent? I think
targeted.
Absolutely.
Targeted.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
I think it's a tragedy because the referees should be looking at people like Ryan Kent. They failed to give him a penalty. You know what I mean? He gets smacked down in the box, and then he get done. Said he was diving. I think it's ridiculous stuff with it. You're a young lad. For God's sake, go on with referees. And that big Connolly for Motherwell?
Dundee United.
Oh my God! No. Okay, sorry.
Did he get booked that day?
No,
exactly. And when Alfie did shove him or elbow him or whatever, he was on his fat backside and he just got up straight away. So Alfie couldn't hurt him that much. As that says to you, Hawks, if that was Colum or that was Clancy, Alfie was away. And this is what we've got to be wary. I think we've got the worst standard of referees in the whole of Europe. There you go. Right.
Andy Felix. Evening, Andrew.
Good evening, guys. Everybody okay?
Andy.
Andrew. By the way, before we go any further, is Port listening?
Who?
Port. Is he listening? Mark?
No, mate.
He's listening. I'll tell you later in the week.
Don't tell him your name, Pike. Yeah?
I know. Brilliant, eh?
Oh, it was comedy. It was comedy gold, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely. He can only be Port that can do that, isn't it? Brilliant. Your team up. Yeah. No, all right. Oh, well, I'll tell you the secret when he's definitely not there. Okay.
He's had a bit of ribbon.
Oh, you could tell. But on your team, yeah, I would go with yours, Ox, but I would change Kamara for Aribo.
All right.
That would be my only change from your team.
Positive.
Yeah,
he might not be playing because he get cramp on Saturday. What about that?
Right.
Well, that was the strangest thing, wasn't it? Really, it really was the strangest thing. I moved.
He's got a few of them in his locker though, into the big shagger, like, you know.
Some of the states he gets himself into, he gets himself all wound up. He's as funny as Morelos.
He is. Aye.
But he just wants the team to do well, McGregor, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's passion for the Rangers is, you know, you can see it pumping out his chest all the time, isn't it? He just wants to get these guys over the line. You can see that, and you can feel it. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, geez, what these other mobs get up to against us, it's nothing, is it? Let's be honest. But you know, we've got to just, you know, get this game sorted out tomorrow.
We were asked a question earlier on about Zunga, mate. What's your thoughts on him, mate?
It's a bit too early, but I'm not sure. When he got bumped in that game on last Wednesday,
I did think it was a bad
he didn't
challenge.
seem to want to know, did he? That was a bad challenge, and it was a red card. If you look back on that game, if that guy had got the red card, he wouldn't have got the penalty, so it could have been different, but it's all hindsight now, isn't it? Right enough. But no, I think he faded out of the game far too easy for me. Like, somebody wants to boot you like that, get back up and gear, like, you know. But he's got to get used to Scotland yet, so, you know, we've got to give him the benefit of the doubt there as far as that. But going forward, like, he's got something right enough, but whether he's got enough for the rigours of our game, I'm not sure right enough, but it's far too early to tell at the minute.
Only time will tell, mate. Only time will tell. You looking forward to the match tomorrow night, Andy?
Oh, definitely. Like I say, I think we can, you know, we struggled up there a couple of times, so another good market to lay down would be to go up there tomorrow night and get a nice convincing 2 or 3-0 win right enough and move on to which I think is going to be a real big game on Boxing Day against the Minifilth. They'll come and have a go. So hopefully Rangers will hit the straps like we expect them to do and, you know, take care of that. But first and foremost, we must sort it out tomorrow night. I think we can. One game at a time, right enough. That's what we've got to do. Like you said last night, we're on the turnaround now, aren't we? So we can start picking up these points where strikers start scoring. That's the first time in a long time on Saturday there that you know, where strikers scored the winning goal for, wasn't it? So let's hope that's the start of a trend. You know, that the forwards are going to start taking it forward as well now. And if that happens, well, could be sky's the limit.
It seems really strange if we can score a couple of goals tomorrow night. Bob have scored, say, 52 goals in the first half of the season, and we say we're struggling for goals.
Yeah.
But the thing about the teams coming up, we've no had Roof play against Hibs, and we've no had Roof play against Celtic yet. So I think he'll be a great addition to our squad for these 2 games coming up.
Are you saying we've got a better team potentially going forward against these teams than we had before?
Aye.
All right, I get it. So you think that Roof brings something to our team?
100%. I think he brings that kind of.
His goals ratio was, he scored 10 goals for us. He's played 16 games. Yeah.
No bad return.
Yeah, with 1 assist. Yeah.
Yep.
And I hope the coaches tell him to watch out for the 2 animals. The puddle drinkers have got a centre halves. Wow, they are big boys.
I think it's them that's got to watch out for him, by the way. I think he'll float in amongst these defences. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping he exploits their weaknesses.
Well, let's hope so. All I'm saying is he needs to watch. Somebody needs to tell him, not us. I can't tell him, and nobody else can.
Well, you can tell him if the phone's in.
If the phone's in, of course. But all I'm meaning is that from a game perspective, the referee...
Roof.
Oh no, hang on. Guess who? That's it.
Oh.
No.
Oh. Roof. What was that, Woof? I'm not sure, Carlton.
I don't know. I shouldn't have dogs in the radio. You can't see them. It could be anything. That could be a wee sausage dog or something. I don't know anything about dogs, apart from you have to take them a walk and pick up dirty things. Aye, you get a wee plastic bag with a dog now, I think.
Say your word.
Oh dear, I'm going to have to go, Ox.
Cheers, mate.
Apologies, bud. And I'll speak to you at the end of the week and wish you all Merry Christmas. And tomorrow night, come on and cheers, let's do the business. Cheers for now, boys.
Cheers, Bob.
Cheerio.
Cheers.
Ox, Chair. Hey, are you on the motor before the game?
No, it's a 6 o'clock kick-off. Just in case.
I know that. I just thought you were on. Oh, you might be working. I thought you were on before every game, but you seem to even know.
If you notice, we don't do a pre-match show for before the European games at 6 o'clock. Fox has got his routine. He gets up in the morning, lady friend number 1 has his lunch, lady friend number 2 nap, has his tea, and then does the show. So we can't mess that up, can we, Bridge?
No, you can't. More than your life's work.
Oh, if he'd another lady friend, he would be passing out before he got on.
He's cut it back a bit in the last couple of years. But that's the kind of man he is. He just puts others before himself, Mr. Fox, all the time, GB.
Right, Oxman and the rest of you have had a very nice Christmas and a prosperous New Year, and may you get blinded with silverware.
You're right, Cal. Speak to you soon, brother. All right.
Speak to you soon, brother. Good night.
Cheers, Cal.
God bless.
Cheers, Cal.
Right, Bridge, we've got about half an hour to go. I want to hear people's teams. What's the number?
The number's 0141 356 1972. Come on in here.
And give us your team for tomorrow night. Oh, well, we nailed it. Or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. You brought in a call with Fox and Old School Blue. Phone in, hang up, and we will phone you back. Yeah? And what can I talk about, GB?
All things Rangers.
I'm just looking at this. Kemar Roof's goals and minutes per goals is 111. Tavernier's 161 with 14 goals. He's actually catching up in Tav.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cedric Itten, who we've talked about, well, he's actually got the third best goals per minute game. Believe it or not, Jordan Jones gets in and just be 2 minutes in front of him. He's scored 1 goal in 152 minutes. Yeah.
No. I just think, like he says, it's good that...
Sorry, I lied. Right. Jermaine Defoe has still got the second best goals per minute. 3 goals, 134 goals per minute. Minutes per goal, sorry. Minutes per goal. Sorry, other way around. Yeah. So Defoe's still up.
It wasn't a game for Defoe at the weekend.
What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at you getting that wrong. That's brilliant. How did he get that? 130?
134 minutes per goal.
Exactly. 134 goals per minute.
Wait a minute, I'm just taking a note of this. Made a mistake. 22nd of December 2020. That scores out the one in 1983.
It was the Defoe's game though at the weekend there, wasn't it? It was too congested.
How much do you think we'll see that much of Defoe, Gary, as the season develops?
I think, like say the Scottish Cup and stuff like that, we'll probably see him. A game like the Morning Night, I can't see it. I think he'll be more well, the manager said that he's managing them just a game a week. He's no doing it kind of 2 games in the week now. So I can't see him starting against Hibs. So I like him. He's definitely the best finisher at the club, I think. But it's just where to play him and when to play him. That's my only concern. The new Roof is my number 1 for that central striker position, to be honest.
Roof ahead of Morelos?
Aye. Mm-hmm.
All right, okay. So when are you playing Morelos tomorrow night?
Just as usual on the right-hand side.
Morelos?
Aye. Usually is it no Roof, Morelos and then Kent to the left?
Roof on the right, Kent on the left, and Alfie's through the middle.
I'll see Alfie more back
He traps you in the space. Into the space. That's the tactic that Bob J was talking about of his known joint. Andy, who's your front? Who's your top striker? Do you think we'll see much of Defoe as the season develops?
No, not at all. But I mean, if you look at, I'd question any striker to play against 5-5, even your top ones. But no, my top striker, I'll go with Gary there. I think Ruth, and I think the more games he gets, I think he'll get even better. I think that Morales, he'll just play the role he's been playing, probably behind him, like you say, bringing people out for the likes of Kent and Ruth to get in there. That seems the way it's be going at the minute. Yeah, Ruth, definitely. Morales has got to come, hasn't he? He can't score the goals that he's scored. I mean, all strikers get, dry periods, like, so he's got to come. We're going to persist with him. Gets that first goal, then obviously he might just take off. And then, as I say, where we could go up top if Morales starts scoring and Roos doing what he's doing at the minute. Kent ups his game a wee bit and chips in with a few goals. There's a lot of goals there still to come, and it's just got to fall into place. Once it falls into place, I think we'll be okay. That's all you can keep saying, really. Well, keep hoping it's going to happen. Because the goals that are spread around the team, I can't see that continuing to the end of the season. I hope it does, because I don't really matter who scores as long as we get the goals and get the goal that we're looking for at the end of the season. But we've got some talent. I like big hitting, as I've said. I've made it quite clear a few times. How do you put him in and who you're going to drop out for him? But I think the boy odds to play up at the right time. He's dangerous, and I just think if he got a better game time, I think you would even see an even better. He's only been there a short while as well. He's got to settle into our culture and all that up the road and all that. So it's good going forward, isn't it?
That's for the coaching and managerial staff. They've got to assume, get him in, get him used to it, and that's when they've got to think, right, is he better? Is it his shirt now? And at the moment, I just don't quite think it's his shirt. I think it's still Morelos. I think Inton's a wee bit behind, even though they scored a similar amount of goals this season. But without a doubt, Morelos is definitely by far, your main man. You just got to look at the work he's done right enough. He'll come, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you know yourself, I've been quite indifferent with him quite a lot right enough. But I mean, I don't like to see the guy going through that, because the guy wants to do what he needs to do at Rangers before he gets his move or he gets off. It would be a crying shame if he went to that club winning nothing, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. For the work he's and the joy he's given a lot of Rangers fans. Yeah. We've been joined by Domano. Evening, Domano.
Good evening, lads.
How are we doing, mate?
Good evening. Had the ice cream van there playing again. Silly, man.
How are we doing, mate? All right?
Aye, all good. Just thought I'd give a bell and give my team.
Right, mate, I'm listening.
Just a Shagger in goals rather than Big John. Usual back four. Barisic, Golson and Helander and Tav. I put Davis and Kamara as the sitting, and I'd actually bring Aribo in, because I agree with somebody else that said earlier on. I think Arfield needs a wee rest, but we want him firing for the second Arfield. So I think a wee rest would do him a world of good. No getting on full games. So I put Big Aribo, because I think he started his magic again there. Know what I mean? And I think that's him. I think he's turned a corner there. Hopefully. Up front, I put Kent in. I just don't think we can leave Kent out at any point. I think a lot of people go, he's no scoring, he's no doing this, he's no doing that, but he does a lot of work off the ball. You know what I mean? And he does a lot of running. And I'd imagine Kent's probably up there, along with Ruth, is the guy that's doing a lot of running. Don't get me wrong, Tav's up and doing a lot, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I think Kent does a power of running. I'd have Big Ruth in. And I wouldn't reward Morelos putting him back in. And as much as I'm not overly convinced yet by Big Hitton, I think he deserves a start over Morelos, because I think Morelos needs to be shown that, right, you're not getting banned and then coming straight in the team. But what you need to do is you need to prove your starting point. So you come on as a sub and we need you to score. but knows a starter. I think we need to manage him. As much as Morelos is a great player, you know what I mean? I just don't think we can't reward them for bad behaviour as much as he gets picked on the refs.
That's what you'd do. What do you think will happen?
That's what I think will happen.
Do you think that's what Stevie G will do? Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll get a Zoom call with him later, know what I mean? We'll discuss it. I say, I don't want you embarrassing me on Rangers Radio, Stevie, come on.
You don't want me embarrassing you again?
Aye, I like it.
GB, thoughts on Morelos sitting?
I think it will. Just personally, I think he will put Morelos in, and the only reason for that is just because he's hold up play and his work rate and stuff like that. Where I'll defend Morelos with the one where his ban, his discipline for me has been up there. He's not been the player that he was seasons gone by, and that was trialled by media, to be honest. Again, the referee for me dealt with it there and then. It could have been a mistake with Morelos. He got a warning for it, but again, he got trialled by the media. So I don't think the manager's going to come down too hard on him, because he's after his interviews after the game and stuff like that about him. It wasn't as if they say, "Oh, the team, he's let the team down," or "We have a word with him," or anything like that. He was basically saying, "Well, it was dealt with," and we move on. So that's how I think he'll start. And to be honest, I think if we use it in the same way as we used him at the weekend, I would be quite happy with that as well, because the boy for firing all cylinders for 20 minutes, I think it's a great attacking option we've got.
I think what's really pleasing to Marnock is we're beginning to think the big fella's all right.
As I say, I'm still not 100% convinced for him. Beginning to. So I hope he's got to prove me wrong and just start scoring bar loads for us. It does give Stevie G a right score heat, you know what I mean? Who does he start? Who does he put in? Mm-hmm. If your striker's scoring goals, you can't not play him.
Usually that in the team goals, didn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't realise that was Roof at double figures already. That's no bad, eh?
He had a purple patch here, didn't he? He was just came right to the fore, didn't he, Roof? And long may that continue as well.
Aye. If he can get that into the 20s by the end of the season, we'll be heading, Andy. We'll be heading.
Oh, definitely. I mean, as I say, Roof's a very good player. I mean, he scores all manners of goals, and see when he gets his napper on that ball in the right direction, or the pace comes across with someone else, you'll see him score a few headers as well. He had a few down here for Leeds, you know, all different types of goals. But I can vaguely remember him scoring a few with his napper there. So I think he's got the all-round game. I mean, he's not that old. He's only a young guy, so he could be really profitable to the Rangers going forward the next 3 or 4 years. Just keep him injury-free, and I think sky's the limit again with that boy. I really do. He'll be all right for us. I think he'll be the difference for Rangers winning the league this year.
Mm-hmm.
Generally believe that.
Bridgman?
Right, pal, sorry, I was missing out there. What did I miss?
You watched the football, didn't you?
No game on. What game's on?
The youth game.
No, I'm not watching anything. No. I just missed the context of the question.
GB, you take it, Roof.
Roof, for me, is an all-round striker. He's that guy that I feel gives us an extra dimension to the team. He's like when Kent came, he kind of took us up to another level, and I think Roof coming into the team has took us up that other level again. It's made us more clinical. Don't get me wrong, there was a few games where we were saying we need the strikers to start scoring goals, but Roof has always been in round about it. That Aberdeen goal, the one where Golson put the ball at the tap for him and he ghosted in, that was a cracking goal. And then at the weekend there, when we were needing somebody to step up for us. It was good to see that probably one of our more expensive signings done it for us, because that's why Steven Gerrard's brought him in the first place, to kind of win us these kind of games.
Your thoughts on Ruth Bridge?
I think he's been outstanding for us. I think he's going to be he's got so much going for him. He knows where the net is, and he doesn't care how far out he is. He'll have a dig. And I noticed he's very sharp in about the box. And I was thinking that it'd be wonderful if you get off behind and just going forward and the ball breaking off. I don't really care, because Alfredo, he's not right up to speed with his touch yet. So his chances are, when the ball goes to him, it'll break off him. And if it breaks off, then he's there to take a chance. My goodness gracious, 2 smashing goals he scored over the weekend. Absolutely brilliant. Right out of the roof of the net. Fantastic. Excuse upon the roof.
I see what you did.
A real excellent player. I think he's going to be, the way things are going, if his career keeps going with Rangers the way it is, he's going to be some buy, a steal. Absolutely superb player.
Domano, he seems to get the club. Is that the impression you've got?
I think so. I actually think you're saying he's going to. I think he will break to 20 goals this season, possibly 25. I think he's got it in him. I think he's got the hat-trick in him as well. So I think he's a brilliant addition, as long as he's injury free, which we're all hoping he will be. But he just gets himself about, all round striker, isn't he? He's not scared to have a shot, and just battles away. I think he's suited to the game up here as well.
All right. Obviously, I think Mike Balogun could be back on the bench tomorrow night, GB. And that gives his cover there that we never had on Saturday. Not that we needed cover for the centre halves, but I think Hollander will start, mate. I
think so as well, just because of the whole protocol thing with the head injury and stuff like that. They'll have him, like you say, just as backup. Another hard headache for the manager. I mean, Hollander's not put a kind of foot wrong, and then Balogun came into the team again and kind of was owning that jersey week in, week out. And I mean, for a game like tomorrow night, Hollander's probably the better choice, because it's probably going to be a kind of rough and ready game. Whereas I kind of see like the Hibs game being more an open game, and where Balogun can show his qualities going forward and stuff like that. So I don't know. I would take to be the manager, because like I said, when that full team's off it, I mean, how do you fit Jack into the team? How do you fit Zunga into the team? How do you fit Itten into the team? Defoe and all the rest of it. I mean, it's he must love it but hate it at the same time.
I suppose, like any other football manager, Bridge, like any other football manager, Stevie G will have a picture of his best 11, but he just obviously you don't say it publicly, do you?
No, you're absolutely right. And Stevie G needs to pick his games where he thinks he's maybe done some analysis on the opposition, and he thinks he can pick a team to play against that, shall we say, that team based on his analysis. We don't want anything to go wrong, because we all say, well, I know a lot of us say, you want to, in this stage of the season, you should be playing your strongest team. So if the manager knows what his strongest team is, that's what he should be heading for. Unfortunately, he's not always going to get his strongest team, so he must know what his strongest reserves are in each position. And these are the ways, in my opinion, that the fans want to see the manager doing it. But for me, when the manager picks a team, he's out there, I'm going to support them no matter what. I'm supporting them. But well, no way are we going to say the manager didn't make a mistake. Well, he'll get the same criticism and critique the same as everybody else, and that's the truth. Up to now, he's only made a few mistakes that we've picked up on anyway, that we think is worth even raising. Our manager will get it right.
He's a class act, mate. He's a class act. Andy, the press conference with Gary McAllister, but I don't think Jack's going to quite make it, but he's going to, what they're saying, he's ready to go for Saturday. So 3 games coming up, he could appear, after Christmas, mate. These are big games,
Yeah, I think he will. I mean, just saying that to Gary, if we don't get him in the team, Gary, when he's fit, I'll be ringing him up myself to see why he's not playing. But no, I think Jack's. I mean, I don't think you can rush him back for the length of time he's had out there, but I think he could be crucial. He would have been crucial tomorrow night, and I think he definitely could be crucial against the Minifilth right enough. But we've got to guard him. So you know what I think about him? I think his injuries are far worse than what you say. I mean, every time he goes and plays for Scotland, he comes back injured. So I'd sooner him pull out of Scotland, to be honest with you, altogether, and preserve his career for Rangers right enough. But I think Stevie G, he picks the teams that he thinks is right for the day, and as Bridges just said there, right enough with, you back what goes out on the field, and just hope that they all, turn up and do what we're wanting them to do.
I'm glad
we're in a strong position,
I'm glad you mentioned Mr. Fox there. I'm going to bring him in to get his team for tomorrow night. What do you think, Bridge? Wise man he is, isn't he?
If he's not too grumpy, he's okay. You know that.
Aye. Mr. Fox, you come in and give us your team for tomorrow evening.
I think it'll be the normal side, mate. I think it'll be McGregor, Tav, Goldson, Alander and Barisic. A middle three of Stephen Davis, Glenn Kamara and Scotty Arfield. Up front will be Kent, Ruth and Morelos, mate, for me. What I like about the front three is they all bring different attributes to the game. Kent is tricky, pacey, can get forward and get away from defence. Morelos is his usual stalwart, holding up the ball and bringing other people into play and can score goals. And Ruth, for me, has got the quickest reflexes of all the strikers. I think you've seen these 2 goals at the weekend. He's the fastest to get onto the ball when it breaks in the box and they can tuck it away. So 3 different kind of players up front bring 3 different problems to St Johnstone.
Well said.
Well, that was the same team as I think, mate. I know that Aribo and Hadji come on and Big Itten come on and done all right, and they maybe get their time as well tomorrow night to keep pushing for places, mate.
I can understand what Kilmarnock was saying about maybe feeling as though you can punish Alfie for his latest 2-game miss, but we're going for a league here and you must play your best players when you can. And Alfie is definitely one of our better players.
Tomorrow?
Aye, to say he is a great player, but he's just a bit firing, and for me, and it's not so much as punishing him. It's just trying to make him hungry and realise there's other people in this team here, and if they're scoring, they're getting in the team and you're not getting in it. But you need to, as much as he is contributing off the ball a lot, your strikers need to score goals, and it's great having goals where the park. That's what wins leagues as well. But your strikers are there to put the ball in the net. That's ultimately their goal. You know what I mean? Their job. Can I just say, I was on Rangers TV earlier, and they're now advertising it for outside the UK and Ireland. That people, obviously, outside of Scotland that can watch it. So I just want to encourage anybody to get a VPN and pay the club money instead of getting it to St Johnstone. That just wouldn't be right.
Of course.
But it is there. If people want to go down that road, it's there to give the club money.
Well, there's only one club caused all this issue, Kilmarnock, innit? How stupid can people be?
Aye. And then the pricing is just profiteering, innit? Profiteering.
Yeah, people are the daft, mate. People are the daft.
Absolutely disgraceful.
The last time we played, we beat them 3-0 at Ibrox. If I remember, it was quite a stuffy game. Would you take that tomorrow night, Bridgeman?
1-0 for me. anytime at all. But you know that is what we need to watch out for is we know how the number 29 is going to be up for this game. And I think when Rangers are there, the first thing they should do is chap on the manager's door or the chairman's door and ask for our money back. That's what I think we should do.
Is that O'Halloran?
Of course, number 29. One of the worst decisions we've ever had in our history is to sign that guy. He was woeful.
I tell you one thing about him. He never puts us down as a club. He's always talking us up, by the way. And that's, if you ever hear him talk about Rangers, he never ever puts us down. And that's the only defence I can give to the guy. As much as he wasn't, he never done anything for us. As much as he's got a good bit of pace. But listening to an interview, compared to ex-Rangers players that put the boot in, he never does it. You know what I mean? Strangely enough, he never does it.
Strange, yeah. Strange, mate. Strange. 3-0 the last time, Andy. What's your thinking? What you going for? What you get in big for? You get into with a few grand before Christmas?
I'm not really bothered about that right enough. I just want to see Rangers get a win. I think it'll be a hard-fought 2-0, maybe 2-1. As long as you get the right side, get the goals and get the points, get the W's, we keep saying. I'm not really bothered about
11 W's. 11 W's.
Yeah, this festive period, it don't matter who they play or how we play, as long as we get the majority of them as doubles, And, like we said, it's a turnaround. It's way to go. I think it'll be a hard game, but I think we can sort this out. We went and blew away last week, although it was in the League Cup, so I think we'll be on our toes here now. Small ground, and get into them and get it sorted. But we've got to be careful. We don't forget they went over the other place there and did us a favour last couple of weeks ago there. So we've got to be on our guard, if you get what I mean.
GB, as Albert says, it's all but winning football, and tomorrow night's game is one of the classics.
I just think you're just looking for as the manager says, you just want them to match the intent of the opposition. You want them to give as much fight as what they've got to give us. And if we do that, then we've got enough quality there to win the match. And again, for me, a 2-0 will do me nicely.
That'd be a really good score.
A double bridge, as it's known on here. That's a double bridge.
A double bridge. Double bridge.
A 3-0's a bridge too far. Don't matter.
I'm going to go. I don't want to say, but I'm going to go for a quadruple bridge. That's my.
Go yourself, pal. Go yourself.
That's my prediction.
Proud of you.
Listen. We're 33 points ahead of them in the league. They're sitting third. They're sitting third bottom. We should be on there them tomorrow night, as much as they took points off for them. So I think we're going to get back to our high scoring ways, and just to show teams that this is your title and nothing's going to stop us. So a convincing performance. I think we're going to get tomorrow night.
And you come, Fox.
It's all right to give the listeners a wee update in the Glasgow Cup game, mate.
Yes, of course, mate. You carry on.
Rangers youth side are beating Clyde 2-0 at Broadwood. A goal in the first half by Middleton and a terrific free kick in the second half. I didn't quite catch the scorer, but what a cracking goal it was. So 2-0 with about 9 minutes to go. On you go, the youths.
All right, okay. All right, some of them are up late. It's 10 o'clock.
Very good.
What about you, GB? You went for 2. Who's getting it 2?
I'll go for Roof and Kent.
Tav's not scored for weeks now, Andy, has he?
No, I was just going to say that right enough. I need to get a look at him. He's not doing what he should be doing, is he? We could get a penalty tonight, so he could be back on the score sheet again tomorrow, couldn't he? Because chances of getting a penalty there with their big area defenders and the team right enough, But a good double. I've got a few bottles of vodka, a few days after now. There'll be plenty of doubles drank tomorrow night if we get a double. You put it that way.
Well, Bridgeman, we've reached that time of the evening, mate.
Oh my God! Well, by the way, I have to say another smashing evening. Really, really good. Great patter. I must admit, great patter to everybody. So, can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, tomorrow night massive game. This get a real changer for us if we get this. Get the 3 points. It's all massive for Rangers. Go out there, mollocate them 1-0 for me. Keep it going for the Rangers, everybody. Keep it going.
Mollocate them 1-0. Right, can I thank everybody who joined us tonight? Obviously Andy, Domarnock, and all the callers that come in there. Donkey and Ian who come in for the first time. Great to hear from them. Carl and Bob Jer as well. Big Alfie Australia. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back approximately 15 minutes after the final whistle tomorrow night when you'll be joined by Linda and friends. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, everybody. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Took a trip to Eyebrow, my favorite team for to cheer, where they were playing the Glasgow Celtic on the first day of the year. Now the ground was filled to capacity as the teams come out to play. The animals sang the soldiers' song, and the people sang Dolly Gray. Now half-time it came around, the Glasgow Celtic were in the lead. Finian Kelly was rounding everywhere, shaking his rosary beads, while the green flags, they were flying high. Celtic hearts were full of pride. The second half, sure it started, and the Rangers, they turned the tide. Won't you play up the Glasgow Rangers? Oh, play up the boys in blue. Oh, play up the Glasgow Rangers. We're here to cheer for you. Now the ball goes out to Walker, and from 30 yards he did score. Sure you couldn't hear your ears at Ibrox Park, for the sash my father wore. Oh, play up the Glasgow Rangers. Sammy Cox is on the ball. He slips it through to Willie Woodbarn, then offered to Ian McCall, McCall to Billy Simpson. Oh, here come the boys in blue. Well, Simpson beats the Celtic centre half, and then goes number 2. Now the Rangers fans are roaring. Jardine Young, he takes a free onto the head of William Simpson. And then goes number 3. Well, it's 3-1 for the Rangers. That was the final score. A happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Celtic once more. Yes, a happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Celtic once more. Yes, a happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Fenians once more.